What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Starting off with a diplomatic breakthrough. Taiwan's foreign minister has made a joint appearance with the president of the Czech Republic in Prague. Louise Watt reports.
Taiwan's foreign minister doing what he can to raise the island's profile on the world stage. Joseph Wu spoke at a Prague event also attended by the president of the Czech Republic. Taiwan's foreign ministry says this was the first time a Taiwanese official has shared a stage with a European head of state that's not a diplomatic ally. Most countries don't have official relations with Taipei but Beijing, which threatens to one day take control of the island. Taiwan's foreign minister said it needs the support of European countries to help maintain peace.
As we speak, the PRC continues to flex its muscles to intimidate Taiwan, including sending its warplanes and vessels to cross the median line of the Taiwan Strait.
Wu warned that a war in the Taiwan Strait could send a shockwave through Europe if supply chains were disrupted, and said the global impacts would be the same or even worse as those from the Ukraine war. Countries in Central and Eastern Europe have been keen to show support for Taiwan following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And a call to Taiwan's president, Tsai Ing-wen, was among the first things the Czech president did on being elected. At the think tank event in Prague, he said the world should show support for Taiwan.
Let's stay united with regard to preserving the situation with Taiwan, not letting China impose her will on Taiwan.
The president left right after his remarks without meeting Wu, but his appearance at the same event was still a boost for Taiwan.
Frequently, all sorts of encounters, even seemingly informal encounters at conferences or on the sidelines of events organized by non-governmental organizations, are a no-go. So I believe that this setting is another example of Czechia really positioning itself at the forefront of engagements with Taiwan.
Beijing has slammed Wu's trip and urged European leaders not to have any formal exchanges with Taipei. This, as they hosted the president of Honduras after it severed ties with Taiwan on Beijing's urging, leaving Taiwan with only 13 official allies. But China's diplomatic campaign against Taiwan is not stopping its blossoming relations with Eastern and Central Europe, which Taipei hopes will lead to broader international support for the country. James Lin and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
For more on Joseph Wu's visit to Prague, TaiwanPlus reporter Louise Watt spoke to Zhuzha Ann Ferenczi, an expert in Taiwan-EU relations at National Donghua University.
Taiwan's foreign minister has for the first time attended an event alongside a European head of state that isn't a diplomatic ally. How significant is this?
The visit of Foreign Minister Wu to Prague, and also in the context of his European visit, is significant because it helps secure the momentum that has been building up in EU-Taiwan relations. The visit is therefore significant because it also suggests that the EU is open to engaging Taiwan, and it also suggests that Beijing's attempt to isolate Taiwan internationally is backfiring. Taiwan's internationalization continues, and EU-Taiwan relations are a significant part of this process.
Taiwan has strengthened relations with Central and Eastern European countries, but do you see this as a foot in the door then for Taiwan with Western European countries?
What we see come out of Central Eastern European countries vis-a-vis Taiwan will certainly shape how the region engages with Taiwan. And this is already a process that is ongoing. In the framework of the joint efforts to fight against the pandemic, the Central Eastern European countries have already taken leadership. So this is very important because there is no structured debate on Taiwan in the European Union at this stage. What we see is the EU being more aware of Taiwan's geostrategic relevance. We see European countries put and push Taiwan on the agenda. So the visit of Minister Wu at this time is also significant because it comes just a few weeks before the European Council meeting at the end of the month, when China will be discussed. So having more visibility for Taiwan in the EU helps that debate, helps see Taiwan as a partner.
That was Zhuza Anna Ferenzi, a Taiwan EU relations expert at National Donghua University, speaking to TaiwanPlus reporter Louise Wan. In world news, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang over the phone on Wednesday. Their call came ahead of Blinken's planned visit to China this week. During their call, Blinken reportedly stressed the importance of maintaining lines of communication between the two countries. But according to China's readouts, Qin told Blinken that the U.S. should respect China's core concerns, such as its stance on Taiwan. U.S. officials have confirmed that Blinken will visit China from Friday to next Wednesday. He was supposed to visit in February, but that was postponed after a diplomatic standoff between Washington and Beijing over a suspected Chinese spy balloon that flew over the U.S. mainland.
We go into this trip very clear-eyed that we have a number of differences with the government in China, that we have differences on a wide range of issues, and we're going to be clear and candid about those issues. It doesn't mean we will have any breakthroughs on them on this trip.
Growing threats from Russia and China, climate change, and supply chain disruptions. Those are some of the main issues facing Germany, according to its first ever comprehensive national security strategy. The document says the country's priorities have been transformed by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It highlights the need to reduce dependency on other countries, citing the energy crisis in Europe resulting from that war. It also warns of becoming too reliant on China, one of Germany's top trading partners. According to the strategy report, China is threatening regional stability and international security through its economic power and political goals.
Denn es geht ja darum, dass China weiter wirtschaftlich wachsen wird, auch wirtschaftlich wachsen soll, dass die Einbindung Chinas in den Welthandel und die weltweiten Wirtschaftsbeziehungen auch nicht beeinträchtigt werden soll, wir gleichzeitig aber die Sicherheitsfragen, die sich für uns stellen, zu beachten haben.
Back in Taiwan, new polls on the 2024 presidential race indicate that the ruling and opposition parties' political grip over the country could be broken by a relative newcomer. The Democratic Progressive Party still leads in popularity, but the 4-year-old Taiwan People's Party has overtaken the main opposition Kuomintang. John Van Trieste reports on the shakeup in the country's political landscape.
The latest presidential polls are in. Politics site RW News and polling firm K-Point Survey and Research have both put out their findings, and it looks like people are calling for change. The polls put Democratic Progressive Party candidate and Vice President Lai Ching-te in the lead with 31 to 38% support, which could be expected. But both surveys placed former independent Ko Wen-je in second with 22 to 32% support. His Taiwan People's Party was only founded in 2019, and with just 5 seats in Taiwan's current legislature, it usually lags behind the top 2. But in these polls, it's overtaking the dominant Kuomintang, or KMT. Its candidate, New Taipei Mayor Hou Yu-ih, comes in at around 18 to 22%. These numbers echo a late May poll by online newspaper My Formosa, which put the candidates in the same order, indicating this may be where they've sat for several weeks. These results have sparked rumors that the chair of the third-place KMT could intervene in the running of Hou's campaign.
朱立伦主席之前就已经讲说他是最强总教练了。既然是总教练，就应该要帮所有场上的选手规划好最好的，不管是训练的方向，不管是备战的策略，不管是后续的安排。
Though officially, the party says there are no such plans. And while the polls may show the DPP's Lai in the lead, his two opponents both say the latest numbers don't worry them.
民调的高低我都参考。 也虚心的看待这些事情，侯友宜不怕挑战，不怕困难，会坚定不滑。
民调跟股票一样，你知道吗？看看就好了，你不要每天去追那个数字。我跟你讲，民调要投票那天高才有用啊，其他天高有什么用？
With 7 months to go until the elections, analysts say there's still plenty of time for voters to change their minds. John Su and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Meanwhile, the DPP has announced a third wave of young legislative candidates under its Democratic Alliance initiative. The party plans to support young independent and smaller party candidates affiliated with its pan-Green coalition. Those nominees are running in tougher majority opposition districts. But some in the DPP are against this idea. They say the DPP should be supporting young candidates within the party instead. DPP chair and presidential candidate Lai Ching-te says his party will collaborate on issues raised by the smaller groups like the Social Democratic Party.
未来我们也会就社民党所关注的，也是民进党所长期追求的，包括居住正义等等的社会议题来共同努力。
As the world's top semiconductor manufacturer, it's no surprise that Taiwan is also the leader in buying chip materials. According to industry association SEMI, Taiwan was the world's #1 buyer of supplies for computer chips in 2022 for the 13th straight year. It bought over $20 billion worth of things like silicon wafers and electronic gases. The country makes 90% of the world's most advanced chips, and it's home to industry heavyweights like TSMC and packaging and testing company ASE. Taiwan's central bank is set to announce its latest interest rate decision after the U.S. paused its rate hikes. Taipei generally follows U.S. monetary policy, and analysts say the central bank here is expected to keep rates steady. The U.S. had been aggressively raising lending rates to fight inflation. On Wednesday, the Fed decided to keep them around the 5% mark after 10 consecutive hikes. Taiwan has raised rates 5 times since last year. It's been a full year since China banned imports of grouper fish from Taiwan, and the market here has adapted. But farming of the popular seafood now faces other challenges. Sally Jensen has more.
It was just the latest in a growing list of foods China refused to keep buying from Taiwan. When Chinese customs added Taiwan-bred grouper to its import blacklist 1 year ago, many worried about the potentially devastating impact on the country's fish farms. At the time, Taiwan shipped 90% of the popular seafood to China. But 1 year after the ban was announced, vendors say the shock has not been as big as expected. The grouper market has found ways to soften the blow. Part of that has involved government efforts to promote the fish at home, including adding it to school lunch menus. Community leaders are hoping the trend for buying local will grow.
那我们常常在说，石斑鱼是台湾人最熟悉的陌生人。台湾爱吃鱼，但是最喜欢吃的是进口的鱼，不是台湾自己本产的鱼。所以我就觉得，包含也有石斑，包含我们自己地产地销，我觉得都是一个我们要持续去推进努力的目标。
The ban has also provided an opportunity for farmers to diversify their business models. More and more have begun moving their breeding pools indoors and producing a wider variety of products to sell on the local market. In fact, concerns have now moved on to other risks to their trade, like Taiwan's recent unstable weather.
降雨量它不会直接降进去我们的这个养殖池里面，然后不然那个海水的咸淡如果跑掉的话，对石斑鱼的环境会比较有影响。
A year on, and Taiwan's grouper farmers are promoting their product at home and abroad. In the face of China's economic pressure, they've shown a willingness to adapt. Andy Xue and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
In sports news, former NBA and Taorean Leopard star Dwight Howard may come back to Taiwan with his checkbook. Howard has just reunited with his children and family back home in the U.S., but expressed his love for Taiwan following his 6-month stint here. He also gave an Instagram shout-out to his T1 League team. But it's the last line of his post that got fans excited. He says he's thinking about buying a team here in Taiwan. Howard made a tearful exit from Taiwan last month and blasted the Leopards for planning to slash his pay by 65% for the next season. He called it very disrespectful, but also said that Taiwan is where his heart is.
I'd love to come back to Taiwan, but we have to talk to the team. We have to make sure everything's right. But my heart is here.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, enjoy these images of a Tehran cat cafe and museum known as the Meowseum. I'm Eric Gao. Take care and see you next time.